Hi, so today we'll be learning about Excel interface, what it entails, and how to navigate our ways through Excel basically. So first and foremost, we opened a workbook. This is a workbook, but inside the workbook we have multiple sheets. So this is sheet one. If you click on this plus sign, you click on this, so you have another sheet open basically. So that's the workbook and sheet differences. Here we have what we call colon. So the alphabet basically refers to as colon, which is the vertical axis. Then we have the numbers, which are refers to rows, basically. So intersection of rows and colon is what is going to give us what we call cells in Excel. So we call them cells. Intersection of the rows and the column. So let us stay. So up right here we have F12 here, which is a name box. So a name box works in line with where we place our cursor on the sheet or the cells basically. So as I click anywhere inside the sheet, you see that the name box is changing. So it changes to the rows and the column, which remember we said they are intersection of rows and column. So we have E9 here. So the E is denoting the column. So we are on column E, then 9, which is our row. So basically, we are on column E, row 9. So we move another to another cell. So we are on column M, row 6. So this is going to be very, very important when we get into other versions of Excel that we're learning basis of Excel, the functions and all. So this is going to be very, very useful. So that's that. So come here, we have what we call home, insert down to this acrobat. So we call them tabs basically, call them tabs. So under the tabs, we have what we call ribbons. So we have what we call ribbons. Then under each ribbons, we have the fonts group, we have the alignment group, we have the number group, we have the style group, we have the cell group, and we have like that, like that, like that. So under each tabs, you have the ribbon, then you have the group. So under each group, we have elements there. So we have this B, which is for bolding. We have I, we have you, and the likes downward to Excel basically. So if I come here also, we have what is called a formula bar. So if I come here to Excel and I type in Excel interface, so you can see our formula bar is basically showing what we have in a cell. So our formula, that's the functions of our formula bar. It's also review functions. So it's also review function. In Excel, if I want to do 2 plus 2, so I start with equals to. So equals to 2 plus 2. So you see it is also revealing in the tax bar, in the formula bar rather. So if I can also do that directly from the formula bar, so I have 2 plus 2 from here, then equals to 4. So that's the function of our formula bar. That's about our formula bar. So we look at the rows, the column, the formula bar, tabs, and groups, basically. So that's that for now. Yeah, so up here we have what we call the quick access toolbar here. So basically we have new. So there are also what we call shortcuts in Excel, which we are still going to check in a minute. We have new, we have open, we have save. So if you look here, we have book one. Remember what I said initially? So this is a workbook I was open. So I've not saved this on my computer. So basically you can just do Control S to save. Control S to save. So you can name this. So I try to name it something I can remember. So you can say Excel interface class. Then just put it somewhere, save. So that's that. So you can see the name has changed. So also we have this here which is quite going to be useful. So we have the minimize and we have the minimize here rather. So also, if you are working on Excel, maybe you're working on a model or some other stuff, you can try to zoom in here. You try to zoom in there. So there's also shortcut Control Alt Plus. So I'm still going to create an entirely new video, so you see how shortcuts work in Excel basically. So let's start. So we have Excel interface. So yeah, I can, let's assume I'm working on this. I want to bold in this. So Control B for bolding, but since we've not done shortcuts, so just come here, go to your home tab here, then under the group, you go to your under the ribbon rather, you go to your font group, and there's the bold icon here. So you click on that. I want to make it slant, so I click on italics basically. Then this one is underlining. Under here, I have the font also. If I want to change the font, just pick any suitable font for you. I'm going to leave it at default. Then if you want to change the font size also, so change the font size to anything you want. Let's change it to 18 for now for the purpose of this class. Then here I have the fill color and I have the font color. So there's a difference between the two here. So this fill color is basically going to change the background, the color of the background of the text. All this is going to change the text itself, the color of the text itself. So if I come down here, so the default basically is yellow. Yes, this yellow. So if I click on this, it's just changed to yellow basically. Or I can just come here into this drop down and click on any color of my choice. Yeah, let's go with this dark one a bit. So if I come here also, the default here for text is red. So it just comes to this drop down. Let's change it to what should we change to? Let's pick anyone for learning purposes. So let's change it to that. So we have this. If you can see, like Excel is the Excel interface is going into this column D and this column E. If you click on D6, that's cell D6, you can see the Excel interface written fully in the formula bar. So it is not actually going into E6. So how will you know? So you can just try to enlarging this. Just come here to your column, then you see a cross popping up this sign here, and you can just drag a bit to widen a colon. So you can widen a colon and you can also do the same for a row basically. So that's that for this. So we come here also. So I'm trying to take us through the ribbons that we are going to be using often. So we're done for fonts group. I'm pretty sure we'll be using this most times. So we'll come back to the alignments later. Let's look at the number group basically. Let's look at the number group. Let's try the number group. So here we have a number group. So we have general, we have number, we have this, which are going to be useful later on in our videos basically. So I need us to pay rapt attention. So to come here, we have no specific format depending on what we want to achieve. If you have percentages sign, so there are ways to change it to percentage, there are ways to change our numbers to fraction, either we want to change to currency, change to time, depending on what we want. So we come to our number group and change that. So we also have the dollar sign, or for those in other countries, maybe Nigeria, like that. So we have Nigeria also, the Nigerian naira there, you have that. To change numbers to percentages, you do this also. Okay, let's say we have 0.2. So if I want to change 0.2 is the same thing as 20%. If I want to change this to percentages, so just click on the percentage sign and then change that to 20%. So we also have the comma. If I write 1,000 here, so to distinguish this clearly for clearer vision, so you can just click on the comma sign, then it's imputed this. So we have two decimal places here. If I want to increase or decrease the decimal place, these are the functions of this. So the first one is basically to increase and to decrease decimal. If we see when I over any of those icon, it tells you their functions basically. Let's start. Look at this. Make your text bold. That's for B. If you click on this, it says increases decimal. So for those of us that are still new to Excel, so this can be very helpful. So if I click on this, you can see it increases my decimal. And if I reduce this, click on this rather, it reduces my decimal. So that's that for the number group. So if you come here, we have what we call wrap text, and we have merge and center. So let's click, let's have a zero interface here also. We can see the difference. Sorry, a zero interface. So if you click on cell I3 and you click on wrap test. So this basic function of wrap test, it tries to conjure or fit in the text into a particular cell. You try to fit it in into the particular cell so it can be visible. You remember what we did earlier? This one was a bit like this, so it was actually moving towards E6. It's appearing under E6, even though it is not actually in E6. But for wrap text, it actually makes sure that you can see everything clearly in a cell. Let's have Excel interface again. Okay, this is what we call IntelliSense in Excel. Because I have Excel interface, Excel interface. It's see me typing in Excel also. So it's asking me, oh, is it the same thing you want to type in again? So I can just click either tab or click on enter to actually call the text or the word out. So we have this. So you come here, merge and center basically. Sorry, that was a mistake. So if you made a mistake in Excel, you can use Control Z to undo. So Control Z. Don't forget that. Though we've not got to the shortcuts, but small. Control Z. So okay, let's highlight two cells here. So click and drag using a mouse or yes, or your keyboard basically. Then click on merge and center. See the difference. So merge and center basically takes two or more cells basically. I can actually merge and censor a lot of cells. So it takes two or more cells and merge them together into one. So we have this called Excel interface. So we'll stop here today for this video. So we've gotten a quick overview of how Excel works and the interface basically. So we have also increase or reduce the Excel the tabs, the ribbon, the growth, then the icon, and the like. So we've gone through home tabs. So in other subsequent videos, we'll be looking at others. Thank you very much.